The night was quiet, the stars above shining like silver lanterns in the endless sky. A lone human, named Daniel, sat near the glowing campfire on the alien world. He had come here as an explorer, searching for answers among strange lands and forgotten ruins. But tonight, he was not alone. Beside him sat a young alien girl, her skin pale like the moonlight, and her eyes glowing faintly with a strange golden hue. She had been with him for weeks now, traveling through deserts and forests, always hiding from dangers. Daniel trusted her more than he trusted most humans. She had saved his life once, and he had saved hers many times. But tonight, she was restless, her hands pressed tightly against her stomach, her breathing uneven. A faint glow pulsed from her belly, almost like something alive was moving inside. Daniel noticed her pain, his heart beating fast. "What's wrong?" he asked, his voice low but full of worry. She looked at him, her eyes wide and trembling. "Human, my belly. It is about to burst," she whispered. Daniel froze. His mind could not understand her words at first. About to burst? What did she mean? Was she hurt? Poisoned? Injured? He leaned closer, trying to see, and what he saw made his skin crawl. Stomach moved, as if something inside was shifting. He stepped back in shock. What is happening to you?" The alien girl shook her head, tears forming in her eyes. "I tried to hide it. I thought I could keep it from you. But it has grown too fast." Her words only made Daniel's confusion worse. He looked at her closely, noticing the strange patterns glowing under her skin. Shapes, movements, like little hands or claws pressing against the inside of her belly. The fire crackled, and in the silence, Daniel swore he could hear faint sounds, like muffled heartbeats. "You need help," he said quickly. "I'll find medicine. She grabbed his hand tightly, stopping him. "No, Daniel. No medicine can stop this. It is already too late." Her voice broke, and for a moment, Daniel saw fear in her golden eyes. Fear so deep it shook him to his core. She was always strong, always brave, but now she was trembling like a child. "What do you mean?" he whispered, her lips quivered, and then she said words that would forever burn into his mind. "Because you are their father." The world around Daniel seemed to collapse, his ears rang, and for a second he thought he had misheard her father. What was she talking about? He had never. This was impossible. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. "You don't understand," she continued, her voice shaking. "My kind, we are different. Our way of life, our way of creating new life, it is not like yours. But when I met you, when I touched your hand that first time, something happened inside me. Something new began to grow." Daniel's heart raced. He remembered that day clearly, the day he had first saved her from the hunters. She had touched his hand in thanks, and for a brief moment, he had felt a spark, a strange warmth running through him. He thought it was nothing, but now he wondered if that moment had changed everything. Her stomach moved again, more violently this time. She cried out in pain, clutching herself tightly. Daniel rushed to hold her steady, his hands trembling as he felt the warmth under her skin. It was real. Something alive was inside her. Something moving. I can't do this alone," she gasped, looking into his eyes. "I need you, Daniel. Please, don't leave me." Daniel swallowed hard. His mind screamed that this was impossible, that it made no sense. But his heart could not abandon her. He nodded slowly, gripping her hand. "I'm here. I'm not going anywhere." She let out a shaky breath, a small tear rolling down her cheek. "Then you must be ready. Because soon they will come." The fire flickered, shadows dancing across her glowing skin. Daniel felt a chill crawl up his spine. He wanted to ask how many, what they were, but his voice was trapped in his throat. The truth was too heavy, too terrifying. She leaned closer, her voice barely a whisper. 9. There are 9 inside me." Daniel's blood ran cold. His heart thundered like a drum in his chest. 9? The number echoed in his mind. 9 lives, 9 children, 9 creatures that were somehow connected to him. The alien girl groaned in pain again, the glow from her stomach growing brighter. The firelight dimmed against the strange light coming from her body. Daniel held her tighter, fear and determination battling inside him. In that moment, he realized his life had changed forever. Whatever was inside her, whatever was about to happen, there was no turning back. He was a part of it now, whether he liked it or not. The silence of the night was broken by her soft cry. The stars above seemed to watch in silence, and Daniel whispered to himself, voice heavy with disbelief, "Father of 9." Daniel sat frozen, his hand still holding hers. His mind refused to accept what he had just heard. 9 lives, 9 children, his children. The words circled in his head like a storm. The alien girl's breathing grew heavier, her golden eyes glowing brighter in the firelight. She winced as another wave of pain shook her body. "You must believe me, Daniel," she whispered. "This is not a lie, not a trick. It is the truth of my kind." Daniel shook his head. "But how? How can I be their father? This isn't possible." His voice trembled, half anger, half fear. He wanted to believe it was some mistake, some misunderstanding. Her trembling hand touched his cheek, her skin warm with fever. "Your people do not know the way of mine," she said softly. "We do not need long rituals, not as you do. For us, a bond is enough. The moment we connected, when your hand met mine, my body took your essence. It joined with me. It created life inside me." Daniel's chest tightened. He remembered it now. That moment when her small hand had clutched his after he had pulled her from danger. He remembered the strange spark. He felt a strange current that made him shiver. At the time, he thought it was only adrenaline, a trick of fear and survival. But now, he wondered if it had been the beginning of this impossible truth. "But 9? He whispered. 9 children from one touch?" She nodded weakly, her eyes full of both pain and wonder. "Yes, my kind multiply quickly. For us, one bond can create many. But never before has it happened with a human, never in the history of my people." Daniel felt his breath catch. If what she said was true, then what was inside her was something new. Something the galaxy had never seen before. Human blood mixed with alien life. 9 beings carrying both of their worlds within them. The girl clutched her stomach again, crying out as the glow inside her pulsed violently. Daniel reached to steady her, fear gripping him like ice. He could feel it, the lives moving, shifting, as if impatient to be born. "We need help," he said firmly. "There must be someone, your people, doctors, healers, anyone who's what to do." Her face darkened. She shook her head slowly. "My people would kill them, Daniel. They would not allow this union to exist. They would see it as a curse. They would tear them from me before they ever saw light." Daniel stared at her in shock, his heart pounded with anger. "Then they'll have to go through me first," he said fiercely. "I won't let anyone hurt you or them." Her eyes widened, shimmering with tears. She smiled faintly despite her pain. "That is why I chose you," she whispered. "Because humans fight even when there is no hope. Because you care even when others turn away." Daniel felt his throat tighten. He had always thought of himself as just an ordinary man, but now she looked at him like he was her only hope, and the hope of 9 unborn lives. A sudden noise broke the silence of the night. It was faint but sharp, echoing through the alien forest. Daniel froze. His hand went to the weapon at his side. She gasped, her eyes wide with fear. "They know," she whispered. "They can sense the birth." Daniel turned toward the shadows beyond the fire, his heart racing. Shapes moved between the trees, quick and silent, glowing eyes flickering in the dark. They were not human, they were hunters. He stood tall, pulling her closer to the fire. "Stay with me," he whispered. "I'll protect you." Her hand clutched his arm, trembling. "You don't understand, Daniel. They are not after me. They are after what grows inside me, the children. The crack of branches echoed louder. Closer. Daniel tightened his grip on his weapon. His mind spun with fear and confusion. Yet one thought cut through the storm. He could not let them take her. He could not let them take his children. The alien girl cried out again, clutching her stomach. As the glow grew brighter, her scream pierced the night, and in that instant, Daniel saw the hunters halt, staring at the light with horror. "They are afraid," she whispered weakly. Sweat on her forehead. "They know what is coming." Daniel's eyes locked onto hers. "Then let them fear," he said through clenched teeth. "Because I will not let anyone take this from us." The hunters hissed from the shadows, their glowing eyes narrowing. Daniel raised his weapon, the firelight flickering across his face. In that moment, he was not just an explorer lost on an alien world. He was a man standing between darkness and his family. The alien girl's belly pulsed. Again, brighter than before, her voice cracked as she whispered, "Soon, Daniel. Soon you will see the impossible truth." Daniel swallowed hard, his heart pounding like thunder. The night was no longer quiet. The truth was no longer hidden, and he knew, deep inside, that his life and the galaxy would never be the same again. The night pressed heavy around them. The fire crackled weakly, its light swallowed by the strange glow coming from the alien girl's belly. Daniel's eyes stayed locked on her trembling body. His heart beat so loud it echoed in his ears. She gasped, clutching his arm as her stomach moved violently. Daniel froze. His mind screamed at him to run. Yet his body refused to leave her side. Beneath her skin, something shifted, pushing against the surface like a hand reaching out from inside. "Oh." "No," Daniel whispered, his voice breaking. "They're moving," the girl cried out softly, her voice trembling with both fear and awe. "They are waking, Daniel. The children are waking." Daniel swallowed hard. His breath caught as he leaned closer. His hand hesitated above her stomach. He didn't know if he should touch, but then, with a trembling hand, he pressed his palm against the glowing skin. The moment his hand touched her, he felt it. A kick, strong and sudden. Then another, a ripple of movement spread across her belly. Like waves in water, Daniel jerked back in. "Shock, they're alive," he whispered, his eyes wide. "Yes," she whispered weakly. 9 hearts beating together, 9 lives waiting to enter this world." Daniel's head spun. He had never been afraid of war, of storms, of battles with beasts on alien worlds. But this was something he could not fight with weapons. This was life. And it was happening right before his eyes. She winced again as her body pulsed with light. For a moment, the glow grew so bright that it lit up the trees beyond their camp. Shadows of the hunters flickered in the distance. But they did not move closer. Instead, they stayed hidden, watching, waiting. "They fear them," the alien girl whispered, sweat rolling down her face. "Even before birth, they fear the children. They know they are different. They know they will change everything." Daniel looked into her glowing eyes, his throat tightened. "Then we must protect them," he said firmly, "no matter what." Her lips curved into a weak smile. She nodded. "That is why I chose you, Daniel. You are strong. But not only in battle, you are strong here." She placed her trembling hand on his chest. "In your heart." The fire crackled again, sparks flying upward into the dark sky. Daniel glanced around. His instincts screamed danger. The hunters had not left. They were circling, waiting for the right moment. He could feel it in the silence. Then, suddenly, her stomach rippled again. Daniel's eyes widened. He could see tiny shapes pressing against her skin like the outlines of small faces. Hands, even fingers. He staggered back, breathless. This is impossible," the alien girl cried out, her body shaking. "No, Daniel. This is only the beginning." Her voice was strained, but there was something in her tone, something that filled him with dread and wonder at the same time. He reached out again, forcing himself to place his hand on her glowing belly. This time, the connection was stronger. He felt not only the kicks, but something else. A rush of warmth, a spark inside his mind. It was faint, but it was there. For a moment, He swore he could hear something soft whispers, like distant voices. Echoing in his head, Daniel stumbled back, eyes wide. "I heard them," he whispered. "I heard the children." She nodded, her face pale. "Yes. Their minds are awake. They know you, Daniel. They recognize their father." The words made his chest tighten until he could hardly breathe. Father. The word felt heavy, unreal, yet deep inside, he felt a bond forming. Something unexplainable. Something pulling him closer to them. The glow from her body pulsed again, brighter than before. The ground beneath them trembled lightly. Daniel clenched his fists. He could sense it now. This was more than a birth. This was something powerful, something that even the hunters feared. A sharp screech echoed through the trees. The hunters moved closer, their glowing eyes fixed on the girl. Daniel pulled his weapon free, standing in front of her, his voice low, full of iron. "You will not touch them." The alien girl's hand reached out weakly, gripping his sleeve. "Be careful, Daniel. They want the children, but they fear. You too, you are the link, you are the key." Daniel's jaw tightened. He looked into the shadows, into those monstrous eyes staring back at him. "Then they'll learn what it means to face a father," he muttered. Another scream tore from the girl's lips. Her body shook violently as her stomach glowed brighter than ever. The whispers in Daniel's mind grew louder, stronger. 9 voices, soft yet powerful, calling to him. Daniel closed his eyes for a brief second. He let the connection flow through him, and when he opened them again, his fear was gone. His eyes burned with fire, his voice steady. "I am here. I will protect you all." The hunters hissed in anger. Their claws scraped against the ground. The fire roared higher, as if answering Daniel's determination. The night was no longer silent. It was alive. Alive with the first signs of a new life, a new future. And Daniel knew one thing with absolute certainty. Nothing in the galaxy could stop what was coming. Not the hunters, not her people, not even fate itself. The 9 children inside her were already changing everything. And he, whether ready or not, was their father. Asterisk. The night had turned into chaos. The alien girl lay trembling on the ground, her body glowing brighter with every passing moment. Daniel knelt beside her, sweat dripping down his face. He could feel the heat rising from her belly, as if fire itself was burning inside her. Her breath came in sharp gasps, each one weaker than the last. "Daniel," she whispered, "they are coming." "I cannot hold them much longer." Daniel gripped her hand tightly. "Stay with me. You're not alone. I'm here." His voice was firm, but inside his chest, fear clawed at him like a beast. The trees around them shook as the hunters circled closer, their glowing eyes never leaving the girl. Their growls echoed through the dark forest, sharp and hungry. They were waiting for the moment when the children would be born. Daniel stood quickly, raising his weapon toward the shadows. "You want them?" he shouted, his voice echoing. "You'll have to go through me first," the hunters hissed, their claws scraping against the soil. Yet they did not charge. Something held them back. It was not fear of his weapon, Daniel realized, but fear of what was happening inside the girl. Her scream broke the silence. Her stomach convulsed violently, the glow spreading like lightning across her skin. Daniel fell back to her side, panic rushing through him. He had seen battlefields, blood and death, but never this. "What do I do?" he whispered desperately. "Tell me what to do." She looked at him, her eyes shimmering with tears. "Protect them. No matter what happens to me, promise me, Daniel." "No," he growled. "Don't say that. You're going to make it. We'll get through this together." She shook her head weakly. "You don't understand. This birth is dangerous for me. And for them. If I fail, they die with me. If I succeed, the galaxy will change forever." Daniel's throat tightened. He wanted to argue, to scream at fate itself, but another wave of light burst from her body, forcing him to shield his eyes. The ground trembled, as if the world itself could feel the power trying to be born. Her cries grew louder, echoing through the forest. The hunters stepped back, their growls turning into uneasy whines. Even they were afraid. Daniel pressed his hand to her belly again. His heart raced as he felt the children inside, stronger now. Kicking, moving, struggling. "Hold on," he whispered. "Hold on, little ones." Suddenly, the whispers returned, stronger than before. 9 voices in his mind, crying out, desperate and afraid. Daniel staggered, clutching his head. He had never felt so connected. They were calling to him, needing him. His fear turned to determination. He looked down at the girl, his voice steady. "I won't let you fail. I'll fight for all of you." She opened her eyes weakly, staring at him with a faint smile. "That is why you are their father," she whispered. "Because you do not give up." A loud crack split the air. The fire burst higher, showering sparks into the sky. Daniel spun around. The hunters had moved closer, their bodies tense, ready to strike. Their hunger for the unborn children was stronger than their fear. Daniel raised his weapon, his eyes blazing. "Stay back," he roared. The first hunter lunged, its massive body leaping from the shadows. Daniel fired, the blast tearing through the night. The creature screamed, collapsing to the ground. The others hesitated, growling, circling. Behind him, the girl screamed. Again, her body arched as the light inside her pulsed wildly. Daniel turned in horror. He could see it now, shapes pressing harder against her skin. Tiny hands, tiny faces, the children pushing to escape. "It's happening," she gasped. "They are coming." Daniel's heart thundered. He had no training for this, no guide, no help, only instinct and his will to protect. He placed both hands on her belly, his voice strong. "I'm here. I won't let anything happen to you." Her glow spread into his hands, burning hot. For a moment, he felt their energy rush into him, 9 sparks of life flickering like stars inside his soul. He clenched his teeth, tears stinging his eyes. They were his, and he would die before letting them be taken. The hunters howled again, furious at the light. Their eyes glowed with rage. One by one, they stepped forward, ready to overwhelm him. Daniel stood tall, weapon in one hand, the other still holding the alien girl. The forest shook, the ground trembled, and with one final scream, the alien girl's body released a surge of light so bright it blinded everything around them. The hunters shrieked, stumbling back. Daniel shielded her with his body, his heart hammering. Then came the sound, a sharp cry, soft but powerful. It cut through the night like music. Daniel's breath caught in his chest. He turned slowly, and there, in the glowing light, lay the first of the 9 children, tiny, glowing, alive. The hunters froze, their growls silenced. Daniel stared, his eyes wide with awe. The child's skin shimmered with both human and alien traits. Its small hand reached upward, glowing with strange energy. The alien girl, weak but smiling, whispered, "The first. Our child," before collapsing into Daniel's arms. Daniel's eyes burned with tears. He held her close, then looked at the newborn. His voice shook but was strong. "I swear, no one will harm you, not while I live." The hunters stepped back, fear in their glowing eyes. The first of 9 had arrived, and already the galaxy trembled. The forest was silent for only a heartbeat. The glowing child lay in the alien girl's arms, small yet radiant, its soft cry echoing like a spark in the night. Daniel could not take his eyes off the newborn. His heart swelled with awe and fear. He whispered to himself, "My child." But silence never lasted long in this world. A low growl broke the stillness, deep and menacing. The hunters stepped forward again, their glowing eyes filled with hunger and rage. The sight of the newborn did not scare them now. It only made them desperate. Daniel rose to his feet, weapon in hand. His body shook with exhaustion, but his spirit blazed with fire. He stood tall before the alien girl and the child. "Stay back," he warned, his voice like steel. The hunters hissed in unison, circling closer, their shadows stretched long in the firelight, sharp claws glinting. Daniel knew this moment would decide everything. If he failed, the girl and the child would die, and the unborn eight inside her would never see light. The alien girl groaned softly, holding the glowing child close to her chest. "Daniel," she whispered, her voice weak but steady, "you must fight. They will not stop, not until they are all gone." Daniel nodded without looking back. "Then they'll meet a father's fury," he muttered. The first hunter lunged from the shadows, its massive body tearing through the air. Daniel fired without hesitation. The blast lit the night, striking the creature in the chest. It screamed and crashed to the ground, twitching. But the others did not retreat. They came. All at once, snarling, a wave of claws and teeth. Daniel spun, firing again and again. Each shot burst like thunder, ripping through the darkness. One hunter fell, another staggered, but more kept coming. His weapon hissed, the power core heating. He was running out of energy. He cursed under his breath, sweat pouring down his face. Behind him, the girl cried out, another surge of light glowing from her belly. Daniel's heart clenched. More were coming, more children. But not now, not in the middle of this battle. The hunters circled, waiting for his mistake. Daniel gritted his teeth. He would not give them one. Then suddenly, the newborn cried again, louder this time. The glow around its tiny body pulsed like a beating star. The hunters froze, their growls faltering. Their glowing eyes flickered with fear. Daniel noticed it, his eyes narrowing. "You're afraid, aren't you?" he said through clenched teeth. "Even now, you know they are stronger than you." The child's glow spread outward, wrapping the girl and Daniel in a faint shield of light. Daniel felt the warmth sink into his skin, his strength rising again. His fear burned away, replaced with courage. The hunters screamed in rage, launching themselves forward once more. Daniel roared back, charging to meet them. He slammed the butt of his weapon into the nearest creature's jaw. Bones cracking, he fired point blank into another's chest. The forest shook with violence, but there were too many. One claw slashed across his arm, blood dripping down. Daniel staggered but refused to fall. He grabbed a fallen branch burning with fire, swinging it hard. Flames licked the creature's face as it shrieked and stumbled back. The alien girl clutched the newborn, her eyes glowing faintly. Her voice trembled as she whispered words in her language. The child's light grew brighter, pulsing in rhythm with her voice. Daniel turned in shock as the light suddenly burst outward. A wave of energy exploded from the child. The hunters were thrown back, crashing into trees, their screams filling the forest. The ground shook as the power rippled across the earth. Daniel shielded his eyes, his body trembling, when the light faded. The hunters were gone, scattered into the darkness. Their cries fading into the distance, silence returned, heavy and eerie. Daniel gasped for air, his body aching. He dropped to his knees beside the girl. His arm bled, his chest burned, but his eyes were locked on the newborn. What did it just do?" he whispered. The alien girl looked at him with tired eyes, a faint smile on her lips. "It is only the first, Daniel. The power of 9 has only begun to show itself." Daniel stared at her, his mind reeling. If one child could release such force, what would happen when all 9 were born? He felt a chill crawl down his spine, not from fear, but from the weight of destiny. He touched the girl's shoulder gently. "Rest, I'll guard you. No one will touch you, not while I live." She nodded weakly, holding the glowing child closer, her voice soft as the stars above. "You are their father. And now the galaxy will know it too." Daniel sat beside her, weapon ready, his bloodied arm ignored. He gazed into the dark forest, listening to the silence. He knew the hunters would return. He knew more dangers waited, but for now, for this single moment, he allowed himself to breathe. The fire burned low, the night pressed close. The child slept in her arms, glowing faintly. Daniel whispered to himself, "The attack has only begun." The forest was quiet again, but it was not peace. The silence felt heavy, as if the world itself was waiting. Daniel sat close to the alien girl, her body still glowing, her breath shallow, in her arms. The first child slept, its tiny chest rising and falling, a soft light shining from its skin. Daniel could not take his eyes off the child. The small face carried features of both worlds, alien and human, yet innocent, pure. A strange warmth filled his chest, stronger than anything he had ever felt before. He whispered softly, "My child." "Our child." The alien girl looked at him weakly, but her lips curved into a faint smile. "You see now, Daniel," she whispered. "They are real. They are yours." Daniel nodded slowly, his eyes burning with both fear and pride. "Yes, I see. And I will protect them." But before he could say more, her body tensed again. A cry escaped her lips. Her stomach glowed brighter, stronger. Daniel's heart skipped. He knew what it meant. The others were coming, she screamed, clutching her belly as waves of light spread across her skin. Daniel quickly set the first child beside her. Wrapping it carefully in part of his cloak, he took her hand, his voice trembling but steady. "I'm here. I won't leave you." Her body shook, the glow rising like fire. Daniel could see movement again, shapes pressing against her stomach, small hands, faces. The whispers returned to his mind. Not one voice, but many, louder now, stronger. He staggered, holding his head. The children were calling to him, 9 voices echoing, filling his mind, not in words, but in feelings, fear, warmth, hunger, life. The girl cried out again. Her golden eyes glowed like suns. She gasped, "They are ready, Daniel, all of them." The air trembled. The ground beneath them shook. Daniel felt sweat drip down his face as he knelt beside her. He held her tightly, whispering over and over, "You're strong. You can do this. I'm with you." Then came the first surge of light. A blinding flash, and suddenly, another cry pierced the night. Daniel turned, his breath caught. Another child had arrived. Glowing, alive, then a second, a third, each cry like a song in the silence. The forest echoed with their voices, tiny yet powerful. Daniel's eyes widened as he watched them, his chest tight. By the time the glow dimmed, 9 small figures lay before them. The girl collapsed back against the ground, weak but breathing. Her skin shimmered with sweat, her body nearly broken from the strain. Daniel caught her in his arms, holding her close. He looked down at the children, his heart pounded. 9 of them, small but glowing, their tiny eyes blinking open. They were not like normal infants. They grew quickly, faster than human children. Their eyes already showed awareness, intelligence, curiosity. Daniel's throat tightened. His voice broke as he whispered, 9. "I'm the father of 9. The alien girl smiled faintly, tears in her eyes. "Yes, Daniel, and they are yours as much as they are mine." The newborns stirred, their glowing hands reaching out. Daniel felt something brush his mind again. This time stronger, clearer. For the first time, he heard words inside his head, soft and gentle. "Father." His body froze, his eyes widened. He looked at the children in shock. They stared back at him, their golden eyes glowing faintly. They were speaking to him, not with voices, but with their minds. He swallowed hard, his voice a whisper. You can already speak." The girl nodded weakly. "Their kind grows fast, but with you, with your blood in them, they are something new. They will grow faster, stronger, smarter." Daniel looked at her, his mind racing. He thought of the hunters, of her people who would see this as forbiddance. He thought of the galaxy, and how it would fear them. Yet when he looked at the 9 children, glowing softly in the night, he felt no fear, only pride, only love. He reached out, one child grasping his finger tightly. The warmth from its tiny hand filled him with strength. "I'll protect you all," he whispered firmly. "No matter what it takes, I'll fight anyone who tries to harm you." The alien girl leaned against him, her voice weak but certain. "You are more than their father now, Daniel. You are their shield, their guide, their future." The children's glow grew brighter, as if answering her words. Their tiny voices echoed again in Daniel's mind. "Father." Protect. Love. Fight. Daniel's chest swelled with determination. His eyes blazed with fire. He turned his gaze toward the dark forest, where danger still lurked, his voice steady and unyielding. I am their father, and I will never let them fall. The night air trembled with energy. The 9 children lay together, their glow forming a circle of light. Daniel stood guard, weapon in one hand, the other wrapped around the alien girl. He was tired, wounded, but unbroken. The galaxy had changed. 9 children of human and alien blood had been born. And Daniel knew the truth. Nothing would ever be the same again. Asterisk. The night sky stretched wide above them, the stars shining brighter than ever, as if even the heavens were watching. Daniel stood among the trees, his weapon heavy in his hand, his body aching from the fight, but his eyes did not rest on the shadows of the forest. His gaze was fixed on the circle of light before him. 9 children lay together, their small bodies glowing softly. Their golden eyes blinked with awareness far beyond their age. Their little hands reached out, not just to touch the world, but to feel it, to command it. The ground beneath them hummed, the air trembled, and the fire that burned beside Daniel flickered as if bowing to them. The alien girl leaned weakly against Daniel, her head resting on his shoulder. Her skin was pale, her strength nearly gone. Yet her eyes glowed with pride. She whispered, "Look at them, Daniel. They are all ready." More than us. Daniel swallowed hard, his throat tight. He could not deny it. The 9 children were not ordinary. They were something new, something powerful, something the galaxy had never seen. He whispered back, "They are ours." As if answering him, the children stirred. One by one they turned their glowing eyes toward him. Daniel froze as he felt the touch of their minds, not whispers this time, but voices, clear and bright. "Father." They spoke as one. The sound inside his head made his knees weak. His chest swelled with emotion, his vision blurred with tears. He had faced monsters, storms, death, and war, but nothing had ever shaken him like this. He whispered hoarsely, "I am here." The children rose slowly, not crawling like newborns, but standing, their small legs steady, their bodies glowing brighter. They formed a circle, their hands reaching out to one another. The moment their fingers touched, light burst outward, a wave of energy spreading across the ground. The trees bent, the fire roared, the very stars above seemed to tremble. Daniel shielded the girl with his arm, his eyes wide with awe and fear. What are they doing?" he gasped. Her golden eyes sparkled with tears. "They are showing us their bond. They are more than children, Daniel. They are a beginning. A bridge between worlds." The light grew stronger, and in the center of the circle, a strange vision appeared. Images flickered like shadows in the fire-vast galaxies. Burning wars, falling empires, and then peace, a world where human and alien walked together. Side by side, Daniel's heart raced. He understood then. This was not just birth. This was destiny. The 9 were not only his children, they were a message, a force meant to change everything. The hunters who had lingered in the shadows gave one last hiss and fled into the night, their fear too great to face the light. Daniel watched them vanish, knowing this was only the first of many enemies, but tonight they had won. The children turned back to him, their voices soft in his mind. "Father, protect, guide, stay." Daniel's chest ached. He stepped forward, kneeling before them. His hand trembled as he reached out, and the 9 small hands reached back. Their touch filled him with warmth, with strength, with a promise. He whispered fiercely, "I will protect you. I will guide you. I will never leave you." The alien girl smiled weakly, leaning closer to him. "And I will teach them our ways. Together we will raise them. Together we will make them strong." Daniel nodded. His heart was no longer heavy with fear, but alive with purpose. For the first time in his life, he knew why he existed. He was not just an explorer, not just a survivor. He was a father, and the future rested in his arms. The children's glow dimmed slightly, settling into a soft radiance. They sat together, their eyes still watching him, still speaking without words. He felt their bond, their trust, their love. The night wind blew gently, carrying the smell of fire and earth. Daniel looked toward the stars, his jaw set. "The galaxy will come for them," he said quietly. "But let it come, because I will be ready," the alien girl whispered, her voice soft as sleep. "They will remember this night, Daniel." The night the father of 9 was born. Daniel held her close, watching the children as they rested. His weapon lay at his side, but for the first time, he felt he carried something stronger than any weapon, stronger than any army. He carried a family, and as the stars watched above, the future began with 9 glowing children, a human father, and an alien mother who had defied her world. A new beginning had come, one that would echo through history forever.